Mr. Kennedy, thank you so much for having us here today. It's an honor to be speaking with you. I run one of the largest PR agencies for Web3, Luna PR, and we're headquartered out of Dubai with offices globally. But being an American in Dubai, I'm inspired by the way the Crown Prince Sheikh Hamdan has shown his support towards crypto and blockchain initiatives in the UAE. How do you see the US and the UAE working together to further advance this technological development?
I mean, I think the United States has a lot to learn from what's happening in Dubai, and I think Dubai has been the beneficiary of a very, very hostile ecosystem that was created by the Biden administration toward crypto in this country, and has driven a lot of the best innovators and entrepreneurs to Dubai, to Switzerland, to Singapore, to places in the world. And my objective as president would be to bring a lot of those people back, and then to work with the countries that have adopted crypto to build our own crypto, our own Bitcoin infrastructure. My plan is to create a crypto, to create Bitcoin as a reserve currency, and also to make the U.S. dollar, to restore the U.S. dollar as the global reserve currency. And if we're able to link it to Bitcoin, that's going to happen, and it will do a lot of other. Bitcoin is just a beautiful, elegant, it's the perfect currency, and it solves so many of our problems. It can ensure the integrity of our voting system. It is a weapon against cyber attacks. It is a guarantor of freedom, of economic responsibility. That will make U.S. again a moral leader around the world and a trusted leader around the world. It will help us end this inflationary spiral and solve a debt crisis that otherwise is existential for our country. So I think it's something we have to do. The faster that we adopt in this country, the better off we're going to be.
Yeah, and I'm so excited about what you proposed earlier today about having a Bitcoin reserve. I think it's so important with the way the technology is moving so quickly, and it's so inspiring to see you be such an advocate for crypto as well. And I learned earlier that you also have a hobby that resonates with the UAE, which is, you mentioned training falcons?
I've been training falcons and hawks since I was a little boy, since I was 9 years old. I actually wrote the laws, some of the laws that govern falconry. I wrote the exam that people take to become falconers, and I wrote the manual for passing that exam. So I've been deeply involved in the sport my entire life, and I love going to Dubai, to Qatar, to Abu Dhabi, to Saudi Arabia, and I've done falconry. I've practiced falconry in all those places. It's been just a great joy for me, and I love being with the people over there, because they know they're so proficient in the sport, and they speak the same language, even though I don't speak Arabic, and some of them don't speak English, the real language, which is a language of nature we all speak and understand.
Yeah, well, I hope to see you in the UAE soon. And being an entrepreneur myself, I would love to hear your opinion on the type of qualities you feel that leaders in the blockchain space should possess or prioritize for the betterment of society as a whole.
Well, I wouldn't, recommend that people possess those qualities. I think my experience is that people who gravitate toward Bitcoin are people who have this extraordinary retinue of qualities that I admire. They have a love of freedom. They have a love of integrity, and they have a capacity, a skepticism toward orthodoxies and toward pronouncement by official pronouncements. and they have a real capacity for critical thinking. And then a great energy, which of course is the basis for any kind of entrepreneurial activity, and optimism, and I love all that, and those are all the qualities of Bitcoin.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you were to become president, what are some of the first blockchain-based initiatives you would take to drive change in the US, positive change?
Well, I would order on day one the 200,000 Bitcoins that are now owned in U.S. custody be sent to the Treasury Department as a reserve, as the beginning of the reserve, and then I'm going to order the Treasury Department to purchase 550 Bitcoins a day for 4 years, so we have 4 million. And that will give us about close to 20% of the total Bitcoins, and that that's about the same ratio that we have to all the gold reserves in the world, and that will launch a cascading effect around the world. That will put U.S. and the best qualities of America, our optimism, our idealism, our democracy, our commitment to personal freedoms. Instead of promoting those qualities with weapons of war, we can promote them by projecting economic power, and it will give us, it will make currency transactional across every border at light speed, with no friction, no fees, no taxes. Anybody in China, Dubai, Argentina, anywhere will be able to get on their cell phone and make a transaction to buy something, a person-to-person transaction without paying any fee. It also means it's a real weapon against totalitarianism. There's so many nations, and you know this, around the world, that if you try to leave, your wealth is confiscated at the border. And that will no longer be possible. All wealth will be fungible, and it will be exportable and transactional around the world, and that's something that's really good for freedom.
I can speak for the entire crypto community when I say that we'd love to see that happen. Really quick, final question is, your family has an everlasting legacy in the United States. How does your involvement in crypto and blockchain kind of contribute to that legacy?
Well, I think, listen, my uncle, I think my commitment reflects the values that my family has been trying to promote, which is democracy, freedom, self-sovereignty, personal responsibility, peace, and then the building of a middle class as the greatest economic engine in the history of mankind. And I think all of those things are the highest American aspirations and values are reflected, that Bitcoin is a mechanism for achieving those things. My uncle, 6 months before he died, created a class of silver coinage, which was meant to compete with the Fed and discipline its capacity to just print money. And right after he died, that was withdrawn. But he understood the tyranny of the Fed and the danger of the debasement of our currency and how that would impact the middle class and cause and lead to these great disparities in wealth, which are now polarizing our country and causing all this division and hatred and tearing our country apart.
For sure. Wow. That's amazing to hear that he was already so advanced when it came to the monetary system. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best for your upcoming presidential election.
Very good to meet you, Nikita.
Very nice to meet you.